Alright, time for part 2 of the George Foreman review. And as you can see, it's exactly the same piece I've already looked over. I've given once over and it all looks good. Now the one thing that I have got to say is different between this and other versions I've had, there's no on-off switch on here. It's all just plug and play. So I've just turned it on at the socket. So it's going to take a minute or so to warm up. Nice little ridges here. So I'm just going to go and get the food. What am I cooking? Well, if you've seen my wok review, then you've probably figured out that this is probably done it within 24 hours of that particular video because it's the same stuff. So I'm going to do just what I did the other day, or in that other video, whenever you might have watched it, if you have indeed watched it. If you haven't, there's a link below there somewhere for it. Or, of course, you can just look possibly over there if YouTube's doing its job properly and displaying my goods, my videos over that way for you. Yes, it's actually, oh yes, that is actually, I'm just lightly caressing it because I can actually feel it's quite warm already. It's quite hot to begin with. Alright, let's get one of these burgers out just so I can show you straight off how hot it is. Hear that? That probably means I'm going to end up doing montage. Oh my god, you can see the steam coming off that already. This looks quite good. Something I like to do, just press down like that, and you can see straight off the go, yes, it is cooking quite nicely. Now, I'll just stretch over and get my knife that I left over there, and we'll put some sausages. Got a couple of meshes of bacon, I'll just fold them over like this. Now I will go off occasionally just to, let the plate cool down a little bit so that it doesn't overheat too much. That said, I'm just going to pour a little bit of olive oil to get just a little bit of lubrication. And the eagle items, you've probably noticed at this point there's nothing actually dripping in there just yet, but now there is. That's actually not the oil that I've just put on. But that's alright. Let's just take a quick look. How's that all looking? Quite nice, quite good. Just move that down like that. Go quite nicely, okay. I'm just going to let this stuff do its job for a little while. I'll just do that. I can still feel the heat going right through there. But I'm going to go and put this food away and get something else that I want. The light's back on. That means it's heating up again. Fitting how these electrical little implements do that, isn't it? No, that's just what it's supposed to do, really. The bacon isn't quite as well done as it could be, so I'll just try moving that around like that a little. Make sure it's all getting on the hot plate a bit better. And you can see where this piece of bacon's been sort of protected, so to speak, the burger. So it's not been getting the benefit of all the heat, but it's mostly gone and been heated through. I'm just going to nudge the camera slightly with my leg as I move things around and move this up a bit. I'm just going to push that down like that. I can feel the heat radiating through here, so it's not really something I advise you do for too long, because you might end up hurting your hand. I haven't, but it's not that hot yet. Probably best just to hold down here to be completely frank and just allow the heat to apply a bit more. I'm loving the ridges on the sausages there. That looks nice. Okay, something else I'm going to add in here, it's a little bit of cheese. Possibly advisable not to do this just yet, but what the hell? What the hell, who cares? I've never gotten where I am today by being conventional. I'm willing to bet that the cheese itself is probably going to melt onto the top of the grill as well, but we'll see. We'll see. Juices are collecting quite nicely down there. In fact, that's actually quite a lot. That's probably more the oil than anything else, though. Yeah, the cheese has melted like I thought it would. It's actually melted quite well, quite nicely. Okay, 8 minutes and 30 odd seconds in, and the cheese is starting to melt and go all over the place. I'm not too happy with the state of the bacon, to be honest. Sausages are actually looking quite good, at least that one is. And it's looking okay as well. It could do with a little bit of a lip along the bottom just to try to sort things out a bit, just to try to keep them in place a bit better. So at the 11-minute mark, and I'm just going to put the bread in like that for the time being. There's the meal I prepared so far. The sausages don't look too appealing at the moment because of the bit of cheese that's managed to get onto them, but that's just the cheese that came off that, right down off the top of the grill. But you know, all in all, it all looks quite thoroughly cooked. Bacon's not as crispy as perhaps I would like it to be, but there you go. It's certainly still edible, and I'm just doing a little test just to see if I can do anything about making the bread a little, you know, more thoroughly well done than it already is, which it wasn't done at all. We're now at the 12-minute and 20-odd second mark, so in that regard, yeah, that looks alright. That's basically absorbing any juices that are left over. I'm just sort of giving it a more sort of fried bread type look. I'm just going to turn that off and move it away to one side because you can see the tray itself isn't particularly deep and it's just collected all this grease. Just hold it up for you. Will the autofocus work and will I be able to balance this properly? I don't think I'm going to be able to manage this balancing act too long. Not at this awkward angle. Standing to the side of a camera can be quite awkward. And there's still a good deal of heat coming off these panels here. Oh, bloody hell, when I pick it up off the handle like this, again my fingers end up touching the back, you can feel the heat quite thoroughly. You can't really get it any further than this without unplugging it, the cord is quite short. Let's just do this. Let's see if I can get it a bit more in focus for you. The top section is pretty clean, apart from where some of the cheese is. And that's too hot to handle. Oh. Yeah, the heaters really managed to gather up there. I'm not going to move the camera because I can't be bothered to, but what I am going to do is move this lot over there, and this here, and the grease is staying in the trap amazingly. That's quite well done. Alright, let's just see if we can get some of this prepared in a way that would make it, well, if not presentable to the general public, then at least edible by my standards. Right, I will apologise straight off the get-go because that is not exactly presentable by any standards, but then I don't aim to make it presentable. What I am going to do though, is give myself just a bit more ketchup, and then I'm going to give this a little bit of a taste test. Now, unfortunately the effect on the bread is purely cosmetic. It's not in any way solidified or toasty or anything like that. It's just literally bread that's been slightly pressed against more than anything else. I probably should have just left it in and allowed it to cook for a little longer, but I just couldn't be bothered. I'm in a rush, I'm hungry and I need food now, because I've got things to do on this rather busy night. Yes, I am liking this. And as much as you can comment on the taste sensation of the sausage and bacon sandwich with extra ketchup, it's pretty good going. It's possibly not worthwhile comparing that to what you get in the shop, because what you get in the shop would probably taste exactly the same, but who cares? I need something to eat now, and this has done the trick quite quickly. In comparison, doing this in the wok took over 20 minutes. Yes, over 20 minutes. I can confirm that because the raw footage was 20 minutes long. As for the burger, oh, I am enjoying that a lot more than I did the burger in the wok. The burger in the wok felt like there was grease still inside it that had been trapped inside. No such problem here. That is lovely, that is tasty, that is delicious. That feels great. So in general terms, if you don't have a George Foreman, you are missing out on quite a treat. And this is just some basic stuff that you can just grab from the supermarket in about 5 minutes and get in and out really fast. You know? So like I say, if you don't have one, get one. It's worthwhile. It cooks your food that much faster because the two hot plates are cooking both sides of the food, and therefore the inside of the food as well that much faster. Cuts your cooking time down a treat and makes sure the food tastes very good. Depending on how good a chef you are, or cooked, or whatever the actual term is. Anyhow, I'll leave things there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again sometime soon. Bye bye.